NWC. We have met and reviewed the development in South Africa, particularly as it affects the attack on foreigners, particularly blacks, if not exclusively blacks. And a lot of these people are clearly Nigerians. Having listened to all the explanations from the authorities in South Africa, these people are neither being accused of being illegal immigrants, nor are they reportedly involved in any illegal activities. Those who have business permit to set up businesses, whether they are traders, they are into manufacturing, whatever businesses they are into, they are operating within the letters of the law of the South African government. Over the past 1 year, virtually every other week, Nigerians are being wasted in one part of South Africa or the other. And we know that the government has had conversation with the South African authorities, drawing their attention to these and other abuses to which Nigerians have been subjected to. But the escalation in attack on foreigners, which include many of whom are Nigerians, have reached a level that is no longer tolerable. At some point, people wonder whether these attacks have the backings of South African government. What has been clear over the period is that the South African authorities has not demonstrated sufficient commitment to bring these attacks to an end. For example, in spite of the fact that many people's lives have been wasted, not one South Africa is known to have been convicted and sentenced to prison on account of his or her role on attack of foreigners, killings of foreigners, and looting of foreign businesses. This recent attack, we have been able to watch some of the comments in South Africa, particularly the one that was made by a deputy minister of police affairs in South Africa, where, among other things, he not only endorsed the killings and the looting of foreign businesses, he refers to the activities of those foreigners who are into legitimate businesses as tantamount to economic sabotage. These have been very well spread across the country. Number two, the statement credited to the youth leader of the ANC in South Africa also suggests that the ANC as a party in South Africa find nothing wrong in these wanton killings and lootings of foreign businesses and killings of foreigners in South Africa. Of course, it is not a secret that Nigeria contributed over $60 billion to the struggle against apartheid, not only in South Africa, but in Southern Africa. And for some of you who are of my age, you will recall that even Nigerian students participated in contributing from their own stipends in the relief fund to support the South Africa struggle. However, what we find completely unacceptable is that whereas South Africans have continued to benefit from the Nigeria business environment and repatriating billions of dollars to South Africa and other places of their choice, the South African authority appear envious of the many jobs and petty trading activities which some Nigerians and other black people are involved in South Africa. The statement by the Deputy Minister of Police to the effect that foreigner dominations of trading and other economic activities in a particular city in South Africa tantamount to economic sabotage, for me, settles it all. To the extent that the South African government has not called that deputy minister to order, who appear an official endorsement of the South African authorities. Therefore, having reviewed all of these and other matters, the NWC commend the leadership being provided by President Muhammadu Buhari, first in boycotting the World Economic Forum that is currently taking place in South Africa. I think that was a decision well taken, and I'm happy that some other African countries have taken the same position. We cannot be talking of Africa economic integration when at the time the world is talking about the role of small-scale businesses as critical to economic growth, not only of Africa but around the world. Those blacks who are involved in those small-scale businesses in South Africa have had their businesses ruined and oftentimes their lives lost. This also happened just a few weeks or few months after Nigeria appended signature to Africa Free Trade Agreement. What is the essence of having an Pan-Africa trade arrangement if African governments cannot protect the interests of Africans that are doing legitimate businesses in their country? So, having commended President Muhammadu Buhari for the step he has taken, first in dispatching an envoy to South Africa, we believe that is right. Two, directing the Vice President to boycott the scheduled participation of Nigeria in the World Economic Forum currently going on in South Africa, and other diplomatic effort that the government is making. We think that we need to make more direct, bold statements to leave South Africa in no doubt that they stand to lose if Nigeria must protect our own national interests exactly the same way as the South Africans are seeking to protect their own national interests by preserving economic opportunities only for South Africans. I think we've come to an era in which Nigeria can no longer talk of Africa as the centerpiece of our foreign policy. It must be Nigeria first, Nigeria second, Nigeria third, and thereafter any other thing that is consistent with the Nigerian national interest. We should no longer sacrifice our own national interests just because we want to be the big brother of a people that does not recognize the role and the enormous and huge sacrifices that our country has made over the years, to protect and defend the interests of the African continent. As we speak, while South African government is envious of the small businesses which Nigerians are involved in South Africa, South African companies are making billions of dollars from the Nigerian economy year in, year out, and repatriating same out of Nigeria country, out of Nigeria. For example, MTN is making huge profit, including sometimes breaching our national laws. And we think that South Africa cannot be envious of those small businesses while their own business giants are smiling to their banks in foreign countries where they keep profit that they repatriate from Nigeria. We are aware that not too long ago, MTN was pardon? No, was penalized. That is a different thing. Was listed in the Nigerian stock market. And as a result, some Nigerians have bought shares in MTN. But I think in moments like this, and in order to send a very strong message to South African authorities and South African people, it is worth it for Nigeria government to take steps to take over the remaining shares of MTN that are owned by South Africans, so that MTN become fully Nigeria owned. Why government and other authorities can be looking at the how best to protect, to deal with these issues, I think right away Nigerians in our individual capacities, this is the moment to show our commitment to our citizens and show sympathy to those who have lost their loved ones by boycotting South African goods and South African businesses, beginning with Nigerians refusing from today to use MTN services. Happily, we have indigenous network like Glo, We have another network, Airtel, and I believe Nine Mobile or whatever. But if Nigerians decide, at least for the next 30 days, as a first step, to stop using MTN, they will have sent a clear message and pay befitting tribute to the lives of those that have been wasted in a very crude and barbaric manner by the South African authorities. This would be more elegant rather than our people going to the street and, throw stones against fellow Nigerians in their frustration. And as we have seen in Lagos, in the process, a Nigerian life being lost in the course of his legitimate protest against South African interests, even if we do not endorse any act of violence. Because as they say, two wrongs don't make a right. Number two, I think this occasion also offers us opportunity to reflect why we should continue to allow DSTV to repatriate millions of dollars to South Africa every year arising from their activities in Nigeria. We have to review all of those things that give South African companies monopoly, such that they make money with very little value addition. Number three, to show that we mean business, and as a practical step of discouraging more Nigerians from going to South Africa, and even encouraging those who are already there to return back home, we think that it will also be an appropriate message to South African government that until they find satisfactory explanation and pay appropriate compensation to those innocent Nigerians whose property has been looted and those who have been killed, that until then, South Africa Airways should be stopped. Their landing rights in Nigeria should be stopped. They should not have the right to fly to any part of Nigeria until these issues are sorted out. Nigeria needs to show that we are not cheeky to be molested. The life of every Nigerian matters, whether at home or abroad. Again, as part of the rip-off, which many South African companies are involving, many Nigerians believe that ShopRite is owned by South Africans. They are repatriating money purely from franchise. As we know now, both the capital with which those shopping malls are built are Nigerians, the shop owners are Nigerians. But these guys make profit just with the franchise. I believe this moment also imposes obligation on government to review any of the agreement that enables South Africans to begin to develop monopoly in our commercial, in our commercial life. We also know that Standard Chartered Bank and Stanbic Bank, these are all South African banks. Nigeria may have small shares there, if any. It is time to ask them to wind up so that Nigeria banks can take advantage of their departure to expand their operations and maximize their profit, and Nigeria government make up a legitimate tax from the profit generated by these banks. I believe that taking these and other measures, which the government should be able to do without wasting much time, that we will have enough to save for Nigeria by transferring these businesses to Nigeria.